Howdy, howdy, friends. We are live and in color and getting into it. My bad. I had to get myself straightened together. We ordered food or dinner and dessert, and so it literally came at 7. So, howdy, howdy, everybody. Thank you for joining today. Um, you know, Today should be real cute, real light. Today's Royal Key. We got quite a few things on the docket. Um, and just gonna kick us off with what is it that I have for us? I think Love is Blind, wrap up the Real Housewives of Potomac, um, talk a little bit about what's going on with Real Housewives of Atlanta, wrap into Marriage to Madison. You see, I had to do an outfit change real quick. I'm hot, y'all. I don't know how long I'm gonna last in this, but yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. Anywho, let me get us started as people are coming on in as well. And then today I didn't post on the Insta because I just didn't feel like it today, to be honest. So hopefully it got around to the people who come. Alrighty, so what have I been getting into outside of reality TV as far as life and then also my shows? So March has been a very full month. You know what I mean? We had a lot of stuff going on. We had a lot of shows coming back. A lot of drama, a lot of mess, a lot of things in like my personal life. I'm in Texas, so that's something big. For right now, I'll be back in LA for April show, but and I'll be back with like my crown and everything else. I made like an impromptu trip that ended up um being extended longer than I thought it would be initially, but I don't mind. And outside of that, my show High Potential is back, and so I've been really into High Potential. If y'all don't watch it, really good show. Um, I I just love. I feel like it's a show that it's feel good. It's like normal. It's like you know what I mean. It's not super drama. Like I feel like a lot of these shows are. Like it's not like I don't watch the shows, but like what's it called? What's it called, child? The show that they with Bucky and then what's it called? 9/11 emergency, whatever, like those fire rescues. Like it's not none of that. Like it's like a still good show. Mind you, yes, the stuff is like you're like, okay, this is not real. Like no one this will never happen to anybody in real life. But I don't know. I really love Morgan. I really love what she embodies. And she just makes me want to think more. And so we got that on. There's a new episode that just came on or is out now that I haven't seen just because I thought that it was done. It's like 16 episodes, whatever. And then we have One Piece. One Piece is a really good show for folks who either watch the anime, um, or like who hasn't. I haven't watched the anime. Like I knew about the anime because it was around during like the Naruto or whatever. I've seen about everything about Naruto. One Piece have not seen, but I really like the live action. Like it's fun, it's cutesy. The girls are cute. Shout out to people who are Bridgerton fans, which I need to. I have not watched all of season 4 of Bridgerton, which I don't know why I haven't. I've had lots of time. I've been watching. There's a lot of like general shows and movies with my family. And then I've been watching a lot of stuff with like my older niece, my baby niece, and so like some of those things not only because like I said, it's movies. I only really want to talk about the TV shows, but hello, me saying classics. Classics is just like a term for throwbacks. Season 4 was air. Well, I really do want to. Let me see if I can. Two. Okay, beautiful. Can I have it timed? Um. Anyway, wait. I don't know how to turn them on and turn them off. Whatever. I'll get into it. I'll get better at this. But anyway, But yeah, I really wanted to watch season 4, but I'm excited to like get into it probably, the rest of the rest of these days by April. And then I don't know, I feel like Netflix has so much. Like, I feel like I have so many shows that I need to catch up on. I have so many reality shows I want to start watching. I want to really get into Ladies of London. I really want to get into oh look, the spicy scenes serve their purpose, and I can't wait to get into them. But it's yeah, it's what's it called? Ladies of London, Age of Attraction that's on Netflix. Like there's so many reality shows that I want to get into. I just haven't gotten into them. But anywho, classics. I've been back into the Once Upon a Time bag. I like really just restarted. I feel like I've been watching something else before I started watching Once Upon a Time, but I can't recall. And then One Tree Hill and OC. Like I've been watching those like back and forth. It's something about the CW, WB of it all that just really just feeds my soul. And so yeah, that's what I've been watching outside of reality television. That's what I've been into outside of reality television. And then boom, 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 Love is Blind. So okay, these are the couples that made it to couples, I guess, because not all of these folks, only two pairs got married. And like only and a few people got cut off. And so I'm going to, I guess, go off because I know I didn't do Love is Blind last time because we really got into Tyra Banks of it all. Shout out to the people who watched that. So Love is Blind. I think Love is Blind is such an interesting and entertaining experience. And like I ask my friends all the time, like, would they ever be on a show? Would they ever do an experiment like Love is Blind? And like they're like, no, no, no. And I'm like kind of bored because like all of them are like lover people who like, really want to get into relationships and all those types of things. And I feel like, then join Love is Blind and like be entertainment for all of us. But whatever. Um I feel like I would love to do something for like Love is Blind, but like I know it would mean nothing to me. I would just be doing it for the plot, which I feel like a lot of these couples, a lot of people who come on these shows nowadays and these dating shows are for. Like they're just to like boost or promote or enhance like their platforms. And so we had Alex and Ashley, and their biggest thing that like I felt uncomfortable about is when Alex met the dad. And the dad was just talking about how like who he asked Alex who he voted for, and he was like, I didn't vote, but I would have voted for Trump. Da, da, da. We don't want to see that on the TV. I know they in Ohio, but like still. So season 10 was in Ohio. It was like kind of lackluster, but I still enjoyed it though. I'm not gonna lie. But Alex was such a liar. Like literally consistently always had something to say. Always had like an answer connected, or not an answer connected, an answer prepared. Like he didn't feel like a real person. And so I think that's why they didn't last. And I love that like when they got to like their end, like she was the first one. So for Love is Blind, for people who don't know what Love is Blind is, my bad. Love is Blind is a reality show on Netflix that they travel to different cities. I think the first city was Atlanta. They go to your city, they get however many singles, however many compulsive liar, correct, Jay. Um however many male singles, however many female singles, and then they like have them like talk in the pods, and so like they talk to people with like a mirror, or not a mirror, but like something blank in front of them, to just like talk about like what's it called, like to get to know each other to see if love is truly blind. And so once they feel like they made like that emotional or like mental connection, then they go to what's it called, then they propose to each other, which is the dramatic part of it. So then they propose to each other. Once they propose, they meet each other in person, and then they go on like a little like excursion or something like that. It's like a pre-honeymoon type of trip, with like all the other people who got proposed to and stuff like that. And then yeah, like they live together for like, I don't know, it's just a month is the thing. It's just a month. And so I don't know how long everything is. Like I'm like, are you on the pods for the week, and then like for the following, like for 2 weeks you're like living together, and then like that third week is like marriage time. Like I don't know. But it's a month-long process, which I think is insane. Like I think at anything like do 2 months, maybe even do 3 months. Like granted, who has like people have to work, they have to do all these types of things. Like people can't like, whatever. But I feel like in order to really test out to see if this experiment will work, they need to lean in a little bit more. And so, all in all, Ashley gets the end, and so at the end, that's when like you you have the wedding, they pay for everything. If you don't get married, then you have to give everything back. And so like that's the reason why people get married, because it's like they pay for your entire wedding and like how you wanted it, and like wedding dress and like all that type of stuff. And so like for people who like don't really care that much, I would say about getting married, and it's not like that big of like a thing of like, you know, whatever, when and some of these people allegedly fall in love. There's one couple who I do think is going to be in for a long run, but we'll see. Looks can be deceiving. But anyway, yeah, Alex is a compulsive liar, and so they caught Alex, and they were just never gonna work. They were never gonna work because they kept catching him in lies. They kept catching him, and like he had a girlfriend in Austin or something like that. Like it was just too much, and all the people was on his grill. He never told her anything, and so at the end, when it was like, "Will you marry him?" She was like, "No, you're a liar. I don't trust you. I'm picking me, and I know you told me that I was your first choice, whatever, whatever. But like, I'm clearly not like bi." I do think that they were a cute couple, though. I mean, like physically. Like I think they were cute. They complement each other. And also, girl, your dad is a MAGA, so I actually don't care about your happiness. But yeah, it was cutesy. And then we had Jessica and Chris. So Jessica was a doctor. Chris was a bum. He ended up saying that like he wanted someone who did yoga every day or something, or Pilates every day. And so insinuating that like she just didn't have the body for him, but he was like she was hot, she was whatever. It was really weird. In my opinion, I think you don't play with nobody like that. You know what I mean? Like one, she's a beautiful girl, and even if she wasn't a beautiful girl, like because to be fair, like come on, y'all on the show called Love Is Blind, like they're not gonna cast no uggos. Like they're not about to throw y'all in the mix with like people who aren't like conventionally attractive. Mind you, all the men were ugly, except for like Vic. But like aside from that, like everybody has their things. But like like Chris isn't he's short, but he's like a like horrendous looking guy. His personality makes him click down quite a few points, and make you see how ugly and unattractive he actually is. But yeah, he told her that, or I don't know if he told her that, but he was definitely going around talking to other people about that. Like he was just saying he wasn't. It was they were missing the physical attraction, and I just think that that was just like really weird. And like clearly he just gave that he was a horn dog, and he was trying to get into something because he was trying to get into it with Bree and Connor had the whole thing going on, and Bree and Chris was like having banter of like like, well, Bree, you're such a alpha dog. You need an alpha dog to get you. You can't count nobody like Connor. He's a little bit too submissive for you. And like she kind of like baited it a little bit, if you asked me. Like I think that when she was having a conversation with Chris, she should have nipped in the bud and said like, Connor's my man and I'm not going nowhere, like I'm gonna stay beside him. By Even though she did say that, like it just didn't really give like you would have my friends would have nipped in the bud. You talking about their fiance, point blank period. We have nothing else to say. We have no relationship. um Devonte, Devo, and Brittany. Oh, to Connor and Bree. So Connor and Bree, clearly Chris and Jessica didn't make it. Connor and Bree are still together, but they didn't make it to the wedding ceremony because she was like, at this moment, like, I don't want to marry you. Like, do you want to? Like, she was so nasty to him. She was like, can you have some like, like, she didn't say it per se, like dignity about yourself. Like, you feel like you don't like your house, your car. Like, there's nothing. You have nothing to be proud of. Is essentially what she told him, and he was like, okay. And she was like, is that not making you mad? Like it's like she's one of those people who used to be in such toxic relationships, and like she really thrives from like that high energy and that like what cortisol that she gets from that. And so she was really expecting to get that out of him, and he was just like, girl, I'm not giving you that. Like, sure, yeah, okay, I don't have nothing to be proud of. Sounds great to me. Very interesting, very, very, very interesting. And so they broke up. So then Brittany and Devo. Brittany, I think, was the prettiest, beautiful, most beautiful girl on this season, at least who made it to the end. She is biracial. Devo kept talking about, or Devo, whatever, Devontae, kept a nigga named Devontae, but saying he ain't never dated nobody who was a woman of color, whatever. And he just kept making excuses about like things about them connecting and things about them going further and stuff like that. And it just was really like off-putting and odd to watch. Just seeing like a beautiful woman of color who, like, for lack of a better word, was like a little thirsty, for it. And he was like, girl, anyway. Like it was really hard to watch because he's not giving none of that. Like by far the least attractive man who made it to the end. Um, with the most attractive woman who made it to the end. And like, you know what I mean? And so that was sad. Just seeing her like kind of simp over him. And like I remember she was like telling the girls like in the first few episodes, like after they were, paired, she was like, or couple, she's like, yeah, like he's like he doesn't know how he feels. And I'm just like we can have sex if that helps. And I'm just like, Brittany, please, girl. Put your shoes on. Let's go find you a home. Like, why are you acting like this, girl? Like, please. And like her family was happy to see her get married. Like it was just everyone on the outside could see that it was not going to be anything, unfortunately, except for her. And that was the sad part. And then fast forward, or not fast forward, next couple, we have Christine and Vic. Nothing much to say about them. They got married. They seem like a nice relationship. Like I think they're very beautiful the way they talk to each other. I think they're both a very attractive couple. I think that Vic is probably the finest man on who made it to the end to me. I just love his personality. I love his demeanor. And it could all be a front, it could all be an act, but like I think that like it kind of got cutesy, cornbally love. You know what I mean? Like nice, wholesome, like nothing like dramatic, nothing like like oh like, but something that you can root for and something that you can be happy for and proud of. And so, shout out to them. And then we had Mike and Emma. Their relationship definitely evolved into one of my favorites. Emma got on my nerves a little bit on her tour of like checking to see who was the right guy, and like just it's just annoying seeing the same spiel after and over and over again. Mind you, they have to do it. Like they have nothing but time, so that's what they're doing. It's just the way they edited it. And so yeah, it was just like she was also kind of like like I didn't really like her. She was like, I'm not going to tell you I was adopted, but I'm not going to tell you what my race is because I don't want you to think about like, girl, what? Like I get that we all have our things, I really do, but that was kind of hard to watch. And Mike, and so their biggest thing is that Mike want kids, and Emma was like maybe, but like she had a thing because she was adopted, and so she didn't know like and she had like a lot of like birth marks and things of that nature that she had to get surgeries for, that she like really like developed a lot of like hard like body positivity and like insecurity issues about. And so like like I think that that was nice representation. Also she's a beautiful girl. That's what's getting on my nerves though. Like it's really hard for me to watch beautiful people like be so whining about like looks. Mind you, we all have our insecurities, but like it's just like, oh my gosh, like girl, you're freaking gorgeous. Like, you know what I mean? Like anybody would be lucky to have you. Like, I'm gonna need you to stand up and fix your back up. But anyway, and I think they had like a cute banter. A lot of people online were talking about like they didn't really see it for them, and that like his family being like Italian and things of that nature, like whatever, it wasn't a thing. Da da da. I don't know. I thought it would have worked, but they ended up going to the end. And she said yes. And he was like, I don't want you to say yes unless you're ready to have kids. And he's like, no, girl, I don't think you're ready to have kids. And I don't want you. And I think that that's fair. I don't know. I feel like you could have gave it a shot. Like I'm like, you're already on the show. You might as well get married, girl, and get annulled if it don't work out. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like you can do that. But I don't know. Maybe there's something in the contract of like if you get married, you have to stay together. Like you can't annul, but like you can't tell me what the hell I can and can't do, and like whatever. And so they end up not working, which is sad. Ish, not really. I think they'll be fine. Like I just hope she gets her confidence. Pick up her sleeves and or pick up her bags and go on and be a bad bitch to the next one. And decide if she wants kids or not, because she gave it she really didn't want any, but she was gonna like settle for him. And like that's something that baby kids can't be no, like kids have to be a deal breaker. They can't be nothing that you just like we don't like. These are lives that you're dealing with and people. And then we had the last couple, Amber and Jordan. I did not expect to talk about Love Is Blind this long. Um, but the last couple, Amber and Jordan, um, regular, I thought they were cute. I thought they were wholesome. I really liked, he seemed like he was like very hesitant, but like excited about like Amber is a mom, and so like like she's a single mom, and so like integrating into her life and things of that nature. And what came to they got married, they ended up getting married. So Vic and Christine got married, and then Amber and Jordan got married. Everyone else did not. And they came to the reunion. It was like they got a divorce because it just didn't work. I will say Amber did berate the hell out of Jordan to me. Like she was on Jordan head constantly and consistently, and I thought that was a little bit too much. Like watch yourself. But I mean, like he just gives the one he gives the guy that's just gonna take it. And so it was kind of interesting to me that he reacted the way that he did, of like, being upset about it and being like, like whatever. Um, and she walked off stage and she was mad because she was like, and so here, this is the messed up part. So when they broke up, he didn't say anything to the daughter, which I think is like odd. It's like a human who you form a connection or whatever with, like, and he was like, he didn't know what to say, which is fair. But like, I'm like, y'all are 30 something, like, y'all are not like kids. So like I think, but I do think it's an awkward situation. Like, what do I say? Like, hey, me and your mom are working out. Like, I think, but if you and the mom are having a volatile relationship and y'all can't even agree on something, you don't want to necessarily expose the kid to that. So like I get why he didn't, but I think it was pretty whack. And I think be a man, stand up and like, talk to the kid and let her know, like, hey, me and your mom didn't work out. But like, and like, of course, like, don't BS and like, I hope we can be friends. Like, no, we can't. Like, that's inappropriate. I will not be in your life, girl. I've known you for 2-3 weeks. No. But there's some consideration. Like, their whole thing is like they didn't want to move to the same city or whatever. She's like, girl, I drive further for work than I do, like, than it would be to go see you. Like, you just really wasn't in this. And like, I don't know. Like, I think there's like a little bit more undertones to it, but I think that Amber is someone I do love how Amber stands up for the girls though. And like, I'm not gonna get into it too much unless people have watched the reunion. Y'all have something to say, but the chat's here, but the chat not, boom, 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 boom. But like, I love that, like, she's a girl's girl, like, hands down above all of them. Bree, I forgot who else. Bree and like two other girls. I think, was it Priyanka? I was throw Priyanka in, and like somebody else went with was it Ashley? They went to go see a concert or something, and Devontae was there, and like they didn't tell Brittany, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that y'all." He said y'all were broken up, and that, and she's like, "BS," and like, yeah, I told her because Jordan told me, and like whatever, and like, like I love how she stands firm for her friends. And let me see, what was my questions I had? Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, I don't really care about any of these questions. But the Austin trip, they went to Austin, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I rate this season of Love is Blind as like maybe a B minus. It wasn't bad to me. Like, I really did enjoy it. It was something to watch when I was like cleaning up. It was something to watch like during work. It wasn't too much. Like, the characters weren't like a lot to like follow along with. Once you find out their names and stuff like that, it is a lot to like get in the game of that. But yeah, on to Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I know we started on the reunion last month, and just to like wrap it on up. So I would say the reunion, Real House, it makes me miss Real Housewives of Potomac. It wasn't like a booming season in the sense of like there were so many like major moments that happened, but it was like a very entertaining season, like all around. Like, it was a really good season in that regards, but it wasn't like a big, or sorry, I meant like a big scandal. Like, how you like, like Candy and Phaedra, that was like a big thing. Like, it wasn't anything like that. Like, there was the Aspen trip with Angel, Kiana, and everyone against Stacy, and then like Wendy stuff ended up coming up after the show wrapped or after the season finished filming. And then Karen, came back towards the end and was released afterwards. But like, Giselle had no storyline. She didn't really have much of a storyline. You saw her and her kids. Ashley didn't have a storyline at all. She just meddled like she does. Stacy's storyline was like boop, 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 whacking everybody who was coming for her. And then Angel's storyline was like all these women trying to play her and her smiling and trying to be Giselle's best friend, while whacking or being so nasty with Wendy, which fair enough. And so I think who won the reunion, I would say, was Stacy. Of course, like, they were like, Stacy acts like this is a job or something. Like, yeah, it is. Like, I think they're so mad that they can't take Stacy because she doesn't need to sort of like kiss the ring like they have to get to where they are. Like, Wendy had to kiss the ring, you know what I mean, of Giselle and like Karen and all those people to be like more cemented in where she is and like feel confident and comfortable. And like, that's not something you should do if you're trying to be friends with anybody, first and foremost. Um, and so yeah, there's that. And then like Ashley definitely was the youngest trying to kiss the ring. Like, I think they all tried to kiss the ring. Karen came in, and I don't think that her presence really, like, I think it was kind of odd just seeing her kind of be nasty with Wendy, to be honest. it wasn't it was too much. I can't like say that for the season and say that when Wendy is coming after you. Like Wendy's already going through something hard and like I get you trying to connect to her, like whatever, but like it just was too much. You know what I mean? Like it was like, okay, Karen girl, we haven't had you in a while and this is how you coming in hot, which I come in hot all the time. And so like, fair enough. But it was too much. That Taurus them horns was um and then I think, yeah, I already talked about this. I think with Wendy though, like I hope this case is everything it needs to be. Shout out to the Candy and Todd case for the people who are keeping up, the people who are watching. Like, baby, that was. Oh shoot! Hold on, I like my sister-in-law out the house. Oh, child, look, I'm over here. Child, y'all saw my thing. Should turn my camera off. As I'm wearing like this like crop top. Um, anyway, um, do. Yeah. I think the reunion was good. But it wasn't as good as the season. And so that was kind of the flop. And I think that we need to really get into condensing the reunions. And speaking of condensing reunions, we're getting to Married to Medicine, which I should have I should have done their reunion outfits and the reunion looks. I forgot to, but Married to Medicine, my favorite ensemble show of all time. If you are interested in reality TV, if you're interested in ensemble shows, if you like any of the Housewives, please tune into Married to Medicine. It's the best show. Like, quite frankly, it gives you everything that any of these shows will get. The only thing it's missing is like Nene leaks. You know what I mean? Like, but there's some quotables, there's some personalities, there's some storylines, there's some like realness to connect with. But like, I would recommend Married to Medicine above any Real Housewives ever. I think Real Housewives is a good franchise, but I think that like the name does the work more than the women, whereas the women of Married to Medicine actually do the work above the name, if that makes sense. And so, um, this season wrap up, like I'm already sounding more excited talking about Married to Medicine. Um, I just love my Married to Medicine ladies. They wrapped up. They had a couples trip in Jamaica, and then they did like the Mad Gala, which is just something that they do every every year for the last 3 years or whatnot, where they get like the black community, the black medical community all together and like whatever. Toya was the chair of that. They did it to teach Toya a lesson and to like be more appreciative. Like, hey Toya, this is like a full team endeavor. This isn't just you, Miss Mama's. Like you don't you like because for the long she's like, this is Dr. Jackie's thing, and I'm not about to give no money and da da da. And she was like so difficult, and then they were like, no, girl. And so I think yeah, I think that, and I also watched part one of the reunion, just the two-part reunion, which I think is fair. Like, I think that three-part reunions need to be earned. I think that three-part reunions, like, were explosive when they first became a thing, and I think that now people are just using them as like a cop out for the most part. You know what I mean? Um, and so yeah, what do I want to start off with? What do I want to start off with? So the reunion. Did the reunion start strong or did it feel like a warm up? I think the reunion started off really strong. Was I think it was really good. I think that I hate the Dr. Simone versus Dr. Jackie bit. I think that y'all been friends for too long. I feel like there's so many layers as to why Dr. Simone is mad at Dr. Jackie, and it's fair and it's valid. But I think it gets to a point, and I would hope that if I ever, am able to be on a type of ensemble show with any of like my real friends, that I will put our friendship before the show, which is what they've said years before. But I feel like it still doesn't register, and I think that like as much as I enjoy Dr. Heavenly on the show, I think that like they need to have her out of it for Simone to feel that, which like I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, and so I'm not going to get into all of them right now. But I think that it's unfortunate that Simone and Jackie are beefed out as much as they are, especially over like the heavenly of it all. There's so many think pieces about it. There's so many people talking about it. So if you want to really get in and dive deeper into marriage to medicine, then feel free to like tune in to all of those. Um, and then who seems the most essential to the show right now? I think Toya for sure. So Toya came out the gate like boom, 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 like very much so swinging on everybody. Her and her husband, like they're a unit. Like I think that that's also the biggest thing that I love about marriage medicine. It's not just the wives, it's the husbands too. Like it's everybody in the family work. You know what I mean? And so I think that like they are probably the strongest duo when it comes to a couple, aside from Dr. Mimi and Steve. But they're newbies, you know what I mean? Like this is their first full season, or first season as full time castmates. But I think that Toya is essential. I think that I really do enjoy Dr. Contessa and the role that she can play for Marriage Medicine. I think she gives me like very like Sheree esque um, of like the Marriage Medicine franchise. I think Dr. Simone was essential once upon a time. I think that her and Dr. Jackie, while they are the medicine and married to medicine, I would love to see us migrate into a different direction and like really see some more stories. I do think that Simone brought a lot of like newness in the story, like when talking about her kids and like them being like spoiled and entitled and all those things and being black kids and like like what what is it being a parent of that right now? I think that that's something that I would love to continue to like watch, um, experience, see them explore X, Y, Z. But I think that the energy is just a little bit um, off for me. She was beefed out with Quad last season. She's beefed out with Heavenly this season. It's like such a strong beef that I'm just like, okay, maybe let's take some steps away from this and being outside of this because you will not be in this type of situation or in this type of group dynamic. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for the show, it's like being in a negative work toxic culture, toxic work culture. Sorry. And so it's like, yeah, let's get her out of that. Dr. Heavenly, I think that we need another Dr. Heavenly type, but let's just take Dr. Heavenly out. She has become more and more the scapegoat, and she takes that crown. You know what I mean? She's like, oh yeah, I don't care. I am that. And I think that like, yeah, I think it's time to. I think it's time to move. I think it's time that we move past that narrative, and it's time we move past that like type of energy. And so shout out to Dr. Heavenly, though, love her, but yeah, I think Dr. Jackie same. I think Dr. Mimi can serve as this new Dr. Jackie. And her husband is here to work. She's here to work. And that's a very new sort of storyline, but she's also very put together in the way that Dr. Jackie was as well. That I think will like really be good for the future. Quad, absolutely. I think Quad's a personality of her own. I think that we used to have so much of Quad to see. I think she's very dynamic and she gets it. She understands that because they become very hard, but she doesn't take it to heart too much. I mean, she does in a way. Like if you've seen the Quad monologue, she takes it to heart. But you know what I mean? And I think Angel Love is great. Um, I think that she was a nice addition. Would like to see a little bit more of her, but I think she was great in the friend role. Dr. Mimi, like I said, yes, essential. And then Brandy, I think Brandy was really cool and would like to see her a little bit more. Like she's somebody who gives that she has her own brain. Not that the other women don't, but like she's not afraid to, like, and it's nice to like have like see Toya's side, build out a little bit because the girls are coming for Toya. So I think out of my essentials, one, keep the whole cast, but if we had to trim, it would be Toya, Dr. Contessa, Quad, Angel Love as a friend, Dr. Mimi, and Brandy. That's a good solid cast. And then like still have like, Dr. Simone, Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Jackie as friends and have them come in and like, like it's hard to imagine a show without them, but like let's start phasing them on out. Um, but also now they've been here for 12 years, they can keep getting their money like anybody else. Oh, my baby niece. She's up. She's crying. Okay, Survivor. So Survivor, Really good season, Survivor 50. I cut some people out. I didn't even realize it. Ooh. Uh, Survivor is we're in a really good time for Survivor. I think that it's such a great mix of old school and new school. And so for people who are watching Survivor and are tuning in Survivor, I'm here with you. I'm not gonna take too much time with it because I know Survivor's a very like niche show, and also like right now they've only eliminated what, 3 people? It's spoilers. Jenna was the first, then I think Savannah, then Q, and then yeah, Mike White. So it's 4 people who've been eliminated, and so like I'll probably get more and more into the survivorness of it all as we get later on down in the months. But I'm loving it. Oh, and then Kyle was evacuated. So that's 5 people who've been eliminated. So I guess I'll talk about that. So Jenna was eliminated. She's an OG. She was on season 1. It was so nice seeing someone from like represented from like the very first season of Survivor. It's just for me, I love watching people who were on these shows before they became these shows that we know and love, because I think that yeah, like I think that it's it's the people without like the allure of like the fame and like wanting to be celebrities and want to be like, I'm so tired of that. You know what I mean? Like I'm so bored with it. Like truly bored with it of like, come on. Come on. You know what I mean? And so I think that Jenna was good. She just played too hard. She got to go with Sari because she was like, okay, there can only be one old school queen, so let me go ahead. And like, I think she just played too hard with a fan favorite. Like, I think she should have played that hard with someone who's like a bit polarizing. Like, I think that there's no issues with Sari, whereas like someone like Coach, he's polarizing. People love him, people don't like. He wasn't on their team, but like Ozzy, I think is polarizing. Like, I think Ozzy, mind you, would have been dumb to get rid of Ozzy. He's a champ beast, a comp beast, but it's like, yeah, yeah. And so that was her undoing. And I was Team Cerise. Bye bye. You mess with the queen, you get chopped, you get beheaded. Um, and then Savannah was the next one. Also, I hope I'm saying it's in the right order. I'm just doing this off of memory. I should have like wrote this down. I didn't write this down. I didn't write any of my Survivor in my notes. Because like I said, people don't really watch Survivor. Except for me and like my group of friends who watch Survivor. I should have sent them the link to this chat. So we can talk about it a little bit more in the future stories. I'll probably bring someone in and we'll spend like 15, 30 minutes on Survivor. But anywho, bro, my computer dying. Boop, 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 boop. Whatever. I think we have some. Yeah, I'll be good with this to the end of the show. Because we're about to really get into Mormon wives. Which I hope my Mormon wife girlies are here. Like, I need a conversation. I need people to like talk to me about Mormon wives, but I can talk to you about all the things with the scandal with Taylor, Frankie Paul, because that is what I'm obsessed with right now. But anyway, Savannah had to go. She just won the season before. Also cocky. Stop coming against Sari. Come against the queen, you're gonna get beheaded. And so she was another one that had to learn that the hard way. Q was a hard one. Q's the black guy in the middle. He was so hard. Like, he's such a jokester and such a troll and such like a get in your head type of player that like they got him. They snipped him. They said, yeah, girl. And he was like, I tried to use my extra vote. Meanwhile, he lost the vote. Like, it's just that's the like Q. He's new school, but he gives me that embodiment of like that old school type of gameplay, but with that new school awareness of like, okay, what's gonna be like a good show too? Because I think that that's also what makes a new school good, is that like they know what's going to make like for good TV, and like they're not afraid to make those big moves in that regard. Whereas like the old school is like, girl, I'm doing this for my money, and so sometimes it can be exciting and sometimes it can be boring because they're trying to make it to the end. And then Mike White went home, which whatever. Creator of White Lotus. But boom, boom, boom. MomTok. So I'm going to talk a little bit about MomTok. I'm going to really get into MomTok probably next month because I did not watch the season yet. Sorry. But these are the ladies on the most recent season 4. I'm not gonna talk too much of that because like I really want to talk about the scandal that's happening with like everything coming out with Taylor, and then everything that came out with like Jesse and like just all the things that are coming out with the dad talk of it all. And I was not going to grace them with a photo of us or a photo for my show. But MomTok ladies, I will say this. I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews about season 4 being like very like hard to watch because Taylor was supposed to be going on to The Bachelorette, and it was like this did not give her a proper like landing. What's it called? Landing strip, landing whatever, like a gateway, whatever, to be on Bachelorette. It was sloppy, it was messy, it was nasty. Seeing a lot, like how a lot of these men are, and just like it's becoming cringe. And I think that was the beauty, and also the thing to be mindful about when it comes to filming back to back like they do. MomTok or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, they need to just rename it to, because who's still married? Macy. Macy, Jen, Demi, and Whitney are still married. Um, and Jen, probably Whitney, and Demi are not even a part of the cast anymore. So just Macy is still married. And so let me go down the list real quick. So we have our beautiful chocolate black baby, black Barbie, Layla. She, I don't know, like I really want us to get another black person in the mix for Layla. You know what I mean? Like I think that it's hard to see um her be a part of like this mix. Like and mind you, this is reality. This is how like a lot of those groups are. Like it's just that one token black person. Like, it's not a lot of other people. It might be some other folks of color, but like, depending on how they really, like do they identify with that XYZ. But I think what's been so hard about Layla's struggle is that like I think that a lot of Layla's insecurities stem from being in these predominantly white spaces and not having someone black like really a part of the mix. Oh, look, my girl here. I don't watch the show, but I've seen 3 divorce announcements and 2 abuse allegations. So, oh baby, you need to tune in. MomTok is exhilarating. Like from season 1, episode 1, which is the drama that I'm gonna get into on my next slide when I'm talking all about Taylor, it started off with a bang. Like it was that old school reality TV that like you look at it and you don't want to look at. You don't want to like. It's like watching a train wreck happen, and you're like, I should be looking at this, but I can't stop watching this. And so back to my girl Layla. Yeah, Layla, you need to get you some friend ofs around you who are black or like people who really are a part of the culture in some regard. Miranda's cute, but Miranda's the blonde one. I got a lot of thoughts about Miranda, just because I feel as though she trying to cement her spot as like the next Taylor. And it's just like, Miranda, you just don't have that for me. You know what I mean? Like, you're a pretty girl, but you're not giving that like star quality to take the lead. So, like, for people who are saying that Layla or Miranda should have been the ones to be the black girls announced that she's in rehab. Exactly. That's what I was about to get into, Jalen, girl. I was waiting to see. I have a lot of friends who I've been talking about. So, like, I have a thread of links that I've been, and that's what I'm planning on going on for this show. But I have a thread of just like links and stories about MomTok that we've been talking about consistently. It's with a few different friends. But there's like my group of friends from my hometown who like that's who I'm really in it with. And so I was gonna literally go through our thread and look at like we've been talking about MomTok since the mind you, season 5 has halted filming, by the way. But anyway, yeah, those two bore shouldn't have been wow, we've been talking about MomTok for a while. Anywho, we got Jesse. Y'all, Jesse, this is one of the divorce stories. Which Brittany, I guess she's not on here. Hold on. And Jay, I know you here, so I want you to come up, but I know how you get, girl. So I ain't gonna, force you. Anyway, so Jesse, I didn't watch Jesse's call her daddy interview. But she was talking about how her husband, here's a big soundbite. She was talking about how her husband, after she so for people who don't know, Jesse got into like this major drama with Jayla. I'm about to send y'all the link to come in on the back end, even though I know y'all not, but wishful thinking. In case y'all want to. Um, yes. So Jesse was saying that. So Jesse was involved with the scandal. They went to the villa. And I know you hear Jay, but are you gonna be on my? Are you gonna be on the? Are you gonna come up to talk about Mom Talk? Because I need somebody who's one actually watched this season, and two somebody who I can talk back and forth with about the wives. So that's what I want. Um, but anyway, Jessie was she had a little thing. She cheated with Marciano. I don't think that they had sex, but I think they kissed, and it was like a emotional cheating or whatever the girls say. Like I don't what the girls be saying, child. Like it was a whatever. Oh yay. What the girls be saying? Like it was like a whatever. So they had a bond, whatnot. Her husband found out before all the blogs found out. He had made a TikTok, a pending TikTok, and he was like, "I'm going to release this and like essentially like ruin your career and your image and let people know that you're a cheater and this and that and yada yada yada." She said that it was one day that he was like, "Oh, Jayla, I sent you the thing." He said that it was one. She said that it was one day that he was chasing after her with the, or she was chasing after him with the phone, and he pulled up and was like, what are you trying to do? Like, are you gonna be like Taylor? I'm gonna, where are you like, like just trying to like bait her into like drama, which we see what Taylor get down with and what Taylor into. And she said that was the moment that she knew she got to get away from him and she was done with him. He has not worked in the last 3 years. So Jessie owns her own hair salon and studio. She's a member of this. She does the TikToks, and so she gets money from there. So she is the bread winner of the family. They even have a nanny. He don't have to be with the kids. He don't cook. He don't clean. Like he's just there. Mind you, she had a previous marriage, and so this is her second marriage. And so I'm like, Jesse, I'm sad that it took you this long. But anyway, so she told him recently that like she wants to get a divorce, and she said that he ran to the courtroom and he heard of a filed divorce for before her, and that he's best friends and in cahoots with Dakota, who is Taylor's baby daddy, who just bad news bears all around. You know what I mean? Like, and so I definitely want to watch Jesse's Jay ran to the studio. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to go on stage. Because I'm not gonna put you on stage till you ready, Books. But I can't hear you. You got to give me this. Okay, she's ready. Let me pull her up. Jayla.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yes, girl. So I know I went through my rundown of the wives and I'm at Jesse right now, but do you have anything to share about season 4 to just update the folks who are here with us about what's happening in Mom Talk Land? Like,
Um,
and then get into postseason.
I'm pretty sure you forgot to mention Michaela. She's still
I haven't
married.
gotten to her. Oh, yeah, I'm going. She's getting a divorce. I'm going to her next. I just did the first three.
I don't know, what do I have to add about Mom Talk? It's a mess. The show's really good though. I
It
do agree
is.
with you when it comes to Miranda. Like she's trying to be the next one, and I just don't think she has it. But I do like her.
I do
I
like
do
her, but
like
she's
her.
not the next one. Like she gives very maybe second in command, but like she doesn't give first. She doesn't give HBIC calling shots, running it.
Right,
She's
right.
she's not Whitney. And here's the thing: Taylor and Whitney are the stars, and Demi are the stars of like Mom Talk in that sense of like they are the ones who are polarizing. They're going to grab your attention. They're going to make you say so many things about them. Either you love them or you don't like them, but you want to still tune in with them. With
Mm-hmm.
the rest of these girls, if you don't like them, you're gonna turn it off. You know what I
That's
mean? Like
valid. Yeah.
it's like Layla's a beautiful girl. We all like Layla. She's sweet. It's unfortunate like all the mental stuff that she's going through. She's on Ozempic or she's going to rehab for being on Ozempic. Mind you, Layla has always been this thin since I've seen her, and so her going on
And
Ozempic is
she just got her
terrifying to me.
boobs done too. So
Exactly.
she got a reduction, and I think she really needed that because the other day I was like, why would her skinny ass get those big ass breasts? There's nothing there. She
And
looks like a
I'm
pea.
and I'm glad. I feel like her face has gotten better because she did a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
to her face that she didn't need to do. She was always a beautiful girl, and like she got like fillers and like Botox and things like that. And I'm just like Layla, you don't need that. Black don't crack, also, babes. Like
Right.
you're gonna be good for a minute. But it's just her being around these white women constantly and consistently. It's hardening.
Right. Yeah.
Jesse's situation is horrible. I wanted Brittany on here so she can tell us about all of what Jesse said in her interview. But like from the clips that I've seen, I'm like, you should have divorced him sooner.
Like the escorts and the orgies. You put up,
Yes, the
you stuck
escorts and
around for that? Like,
And that's my thing. Like these Mormon men really be into a lot. And so like
Yes.
let's go back to season one. When they said saints versus sinners, they meant that. Because like the saints, they problematic and they have their own things and it's very controlling and very traditional and all those things. But them sinners, they get down and they get dirty.
Facts. Mm.
And so moving on to Michaela, who I have a very fluctuating relationship with Michaela.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that she is deciding to divorce her husband. So for folks who don't know, Michaela met her husband when she was 16. He was 21, I believe, or 20. Either way, over 4 years older than her. And she got pregnant at 16, by the way, when she was kicked out of her house. And that never sat right with me. And I know it happens, and I know it's more common than we like to say, but you're 21 with this 16-year-old
Hmm.
starting a family, and like the reason for their divorce or the reason why she's filing or like they're separated and all those types of things is because she's been having issues with intimacy with him. And she talked about it a lot season three, and I think that they talk about it a bit more in season four. And then after season four aired is when the news came out that she was like, "Yeah, girl, we gotta go."
But they
Um,
definitely just moved to California together. So I don't think they're divorcing.
so you think they back at it?
Yeah. I think she left for a few nights and then came back. Because I think like when the article came out about them separating, they didn't really separate. She went somewhere else for a few nights,
Yeah, okay. Ugh,
from what I gathered.
Michaela, I
Could
want.
be wrong.
Thank you, Jayla. But you know what? The thing is, that's what happens in these types of relationships. Hopefully you still on. But that's what happens in these types of relationships. People leave and then they come on back. And it's really hard to cut the cord. And it's really hard to say I've had it. Um, even when you know there's issues, there's the religious sort of like the religious pressures of like, thank you. It's a crop child. Look, I'm gonna have to wear it in Brazil when we go next year. But yeah, poor Michaela. Poor Michaela. That
Mhm.
saddens me so much, Jayla, that she
Mhm.
is back with this man. Because he's a creep. And I do think that he might be a sweet guy and he might really love her, but like he's a creep. He was 21 and she was 16. He took advantage of her. And that's the reason why she has intimacy issues. And so like he needs to be prepared to not have sex for the next few years until she continues to get this like healed and fixed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or fix is such a bad word, but like, like until she heals and works through this, you know what I mean? Um, Especially in these religious and these Mormon people, baby.
And if they're
And so
Mormon,
yeah,
Mormon, you know they not trying
yeah,
to leave.
yeah, and like yeah, I hope Mikhail gets the help. And then there's my girl Macy. Macy is really one of my favorites. I really enjoy her.
Mhm.
Um, Child bride, she is a child bride, and that's horrible because she didn't have her family, so she, went on with him. I love Macy. I think that Macy's a good, glue and what's it called, conscience for the group. Um, I don't really see much issues with her man, but I did hear that her man got on people's nerves this season, and so he
Yeah.
might not be as much of a gem as we thought he was. And so I haven't seen this season, and so I will be getting into that later.
He got a little too deep into dad talk. And he was like,
Hmm.
"Yeah, Dakota isn't a bad person. He's really a cool guy." And so of course they gave Macy the ick.
Correct. Because here's the thing, and we'll get to Dakota on the next
Oh,
slide, but yeah, we'll get to him on the next slide. On to Jen. They move into LA. Jen is not strong enough to have a show wrapped around her and being the only returning. Like, it's going to be a shame when she has those people in LA, whoever are the Mormon wives, that come in and really eat her up on her own show that's a spinoff. Whitney, I know that you on Broadway. You need to come on back. You need to make sure that Jen isn't starting this alone and show y'all's feud. And also, that's unfair to Jen as well, because let's be real, Whitney is going to be the star of this show as well. And Jen's not really going to be that much competition. Beautiful girl, though. We're tired of your husband. He's probably going to be more of a star in this again. But like, I don't know, Zach's so interesting to me because he's always saying that he's like better and he's like, improving, but it's just like he's still in the mess to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so I'm like, I want to believe you, but I think you're just saying the right things on TV. And honestly, that's all you have
Exactly.
to do. Say the right things on TV to make sure you don't embarrass your wife again. Point blank
That's what
and
they all
period.
do. He
Hey, my
um
baby.
he tried to like mom shame her for being on Dancing with the Stars.
Again?
Yeah, like during the season. He was like, you're always gone and I'm here with the kids and Rudy Tootin, you're always gone for practice and you're practicing majority of the day. And yeah, he definitely mom shamed her for doing Dancing with the Stars.
And here's my thing, y'all just don't like y'all's kids. Because if you can't let your wife, you know what I mean? My girl. Yeah, he was tired of getting trashed online.
Oh,
I seen
absolutely.
that you said you was at the call, you was at this at the game, girl. I really need you on here, but maybe next month, y'all. Me, you and Jay can have our own mom talk deep dive. But yeah, I they hate their kids. They don't like being around their kids, and they want the wives to be around their kids, and they want to just be like on the side of their wives and being like coochie coochie coo, and then go back to about their lives. Because you can't tell me that you can't allow this girl and continue to uplift. She is the breadwinner. You might come from money, but you
Hmm.
ain't bringing none of it in. Go back to
Facts.
med school. Like it's like this is the equivalent of you being in med school is what she's doing, and what baffles my mind is that they don't get that, and that's what gets me every time. And then we got my girl Whitney, no notes. I don't know what she did this season. What did she do this season that everybody like her now?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, I don't feel like anything materially changed. But so
Nothing
many people
did.
are telling me that like she has in my other group chats. They're like, oh, I'm Team Whitney now, and I'm like,
I mean, at least like she was honest about her intentions. Like I came back to Mom Talk to do Dancing with the Stars. Like take it or leave it. I'm going to do it. Bye.
exactly. I think what frustrates me, and I was telling this to you, Jayla. I don't think I told this to Britt. I told this to a few of my other friends who I watch Mom Talk with. This gang mentality gotta go.
Yeah.
We are not friends. I don't need y'all's approval, and we don't need to do like y'all don't like me, and that's fine. We are a part of this group together for the
It's
optics.
It's
This
interesting to see
ensemble,
like how her and Michaela made their way back to each other because Michaela couldn't stand Whitney's guts.
which
And
is
now
insane
they're
because
like,
season one she was all in her coochie.
yeah, now they're like really good friends again. And it's like, what changed? So maybe Whitney did do like the work behind the scenes that we didn't see for them to all be like, yeah, welcome back, Whitney. We love you so much.
hmm And I
Or maybe
think
it's just the
also
attention
too,
she's getting.
I think it's the attention, and I also think too, it's the attention Taylor is getting too. And it's like, hey, the only girl who can really have rival her is you, and so maybe let's put some more stock back into your basket. But y'all trash Whitney the first two seasons, and really the first three, and like y'all made her seem like she was the most unlike, which she made herself look like she was the most unlikable person on there. And now trying to befriend the girl who, whatever. They're so interesting. What is it? The M's are actually friends, and Jesse is friends with Taylor. The rest of them are just cordial. Not the M's.
Mhm. And I'm like, okay, how many M's we have? Okay, got
Yeah,
it,
I'm gonna
got it,
say, girl,
got
we
it.
got too many M's.
It
But yeah,
doesn't
Macy and
matter.
Michaela are for sure best friends. And yeah, I do think that Jesse is rocking with Taylor, and like I do agree that the rest of them are cordial. Let's
I
map
do
them out.
think Layla and Miranda are friends too.
I think that they
I
because
I
I mean they
think
were
they're
brother
friends.
dating. I like Chase
Layla,
though. Hey Chase.
Layla, like you dated brothers and then you were surprised when the younger brother played you. You probably should have left him where he was at.
He played her. That's what happened.
They haven't said what really happened, but it was a whole lot of, I found out so much about him after the fact, and I wish I would have
It's
known, rah,
always
rah,
that.
rah. Also, I don't want to see y'all film the reunion during the season.
I don't.
Can we
I don't.
stop? Because we've already watched the reunion. We don't want to relive it. We want to move forward.
I agree. Let's be done with that.
What was
I
cracking
date
me up?
too. Chase, you single?
Chase is cute.
He gives a little like Mormonish kind of JB vibes to me. But what was cracking you up?
The empty confessionals when they would ask Demi something, they'd be like, "Hey Demi, what do you think?" And then her confessional room was empty, and they had the little cricket sound playing. Hilarious.
I love me some Demi, but I think she got a little bit too big for her britches. I think season two when she said, when she confronted Taylor, and let's be real, she wasn't confronting Taylor for the good of the group. She was confronting Taylor so she can get that spot because she was a fan favorite season one, and it disappeared just like that. And the drama with Marciano, trying to circle it back to Jesse, all of this and that, not being able to really pinpoint her truth, and also not really taking accountability, it really lost it on the girls. And so to
Yeah.
me, uh, I think y'all time with the MomTok girls have ended. But who knows? With this Taylor stuff, they might be trying to root her back in. But like, there needs to be some accountability, babes. But boom, 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 main event. Miss Taylor, Frankie
The
Paul,
crash out herself.
the crash out herself. So I am still kind of shocked by the news of ABC and The Bachelorette putting her season on pause after her 2023 tape came out. People who don't know, Taylor Frankie Paul, one, blew up from exposing her and her friends about how they were swingers. Uh, if we don't keep it a buck. Hold on, let me put this on the charger. And so that was the very first start of Mom Talk as we know it. Secondly, when they started filming Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, she got in physical altercation, domestic abuse relation or situation with her baby daddy. Wasn't her baby daddy at the time, boyfriend at the time, where she was throwing chairs at him. They told us all about it, but we didn't see the footage. The footage was just leaked. Was it 2 weeks ago, Jayla, or was it this week? Or no, it was last week.
It was last
Whenever
week.
it was leaked. Um, and when I say everything, but we were supposed to be talking about the Bachelorette today. This was supposed to be the Bachelorette was supposed to be on the docket today, and it is on pause because that video has come back to surface, and people, in my opinion, are virtue signaling, and they're trying to say we want to be separated for this. We don't believe in domestic abuse and this is and that, yada yada yada, and we all about the kids, which is always the safest thing to say. But I don't know, Jayla. I think that you knew enough about this to know that it was a problem. And we've heard like nothing in that video was new to me. It was just seeing it that was kind of like shit,
Right.
that really happened. But it's like he said that she threw metal things at him. He said that the daughter was in the police report said the daughter was in the room, and that like it was alluded that she got hurt and harmed. What is happening now?
And
What did
ABC
Brittany
and
say?
Hulu, y'all knew that. Thank you, Brittany. They literally knew that. That's literally why I got canceled. I actually heard they're considering Homegirl from Love Island and Traders, Mara,
I saw that. I saw that.
like they're
And
considering
doing a
doing a
live
live
season with
one.
her.
But
Mm-hmm.
like, what about all the money y'all lost with Taylor?
Exactly. And I think they need to just air that. Like, I think that what they're going to do is air it all on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
And like the people are going to catch up and binge it. The people are going to be talking about it. It's going to be very much on the zeitgeist. Like, we have to talk about it. Like, this girl came about in scandal. And so we're going to pretend that the scandal isn't what like builds this. Like,
Right.
I think the perfect storm will happen. I do think that it's wild what's happening to her now. And like, I do hope that like mentally she's okay because like she's a crash out. And so I can't imagine her taking any of this well. Like, what she thought her life was going to look like 2 weeks ago is not what's happening.
Right.
And I do hope this is a wake up call for her to get rid of Dakota and get away from Dakota. Dakota is a former addict, allegedly, because I don't feel like he's fully sane and sober with all the things that he got going on. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
there, he he might not be doing the fentanyl and all those other things, but he has switched a drug to another drug, and maybe the drug is clout. But
He's
like he's
another like
giving additive
doing it for the
overdoses and
cameras.
things. Neighbors are actually called the police because they heard Dakota hitting her with something wood in the garage. Exactly, they called the police. at that time, not Dakota, when they got in the house. Exactly. And then she got and started recording because he wants to be the victim so bad. The thing is, they're both horrible. He's the man.
Mhm.
And so, if Mormon culture is supposed to be so traditional and so all these things, then I think that we need to make sure that we're putting that same heat on the man. And
And
like
they don't.
the fact that he has ever right now is
Yeah,
insane to me.
absolutely. The
Give
fact
them
that
give them
they've
kids to the
like
grandparents.
the fact that that happened and they circled the block so many times since then is insane.
3 years later and they were still up and in and out. And
Insane.
so I think that similar to what Jordan was trying to do with Jesse and Britt, I want you to talk to us about the Jesse's interview. We'll do it next time though, because we already over time. But I think the same thing that whatever Jesse's husband name is, I forgot it. Not important. Was trying to do to
Mm,
Jesse and like, oh, I'm gonna share. I feel like that's something that Dakota had in his chamber, things that he
mhm.
was waiting to send and that he threatened
Absolutely.
Taylor with, and I think that like they same,
Absolutely. They're
and I
best friends for a reason.
And I think that all of this is going to be the end of Mom Talk. Like I think that Taylor's gonna get her fame, she's gonna get her one too. I think that like this is going to build it up, but I think that they're going to then be cautious now. I don't like the distancing that the women are doing from Taylor because I should have been doing it.
And they kept justifying not doing it throughout the season.
Mm.
They kept justifying not doing it. Now, spoiler, at the last episode, Jesse was like, "You need to get it together."
Mm-hmm.
Like she kind of gave her a little like fussing, which she needed. Like, and I was like, they were trying to warn you. They were trying to warn you, but they were also trying to make sure their bags were secure. Let's be
And
honest.
that's what I want them to be honest about, Jay. I
Let's
want
be
them to be
honest.
honest about the fact that they wanted to make sure that their bags were secure and they wanted to make sure she didn't ruin their bags and that the only reason why they continued to propel her is because they knew she was the star and they did not want to disrupt that and have Mount Vesuvius attack and get rid of all of Pompeii. I wanted them to
Hmm.
say that. I need them to say that because that is the truth. And I think that that's okay. Like, y'all aren't
And
like, pull a
it's a
Whitney.
job. You're clocking in. Like, but it
And
was so
so,
much. Yeah, we want to get Taylor ready for the Bachelorette. We want to make sure Taylor's ready for the Bachelorette. We want wrap it up. Wrap it up. Get the girl to the Bachelorette so we can move on to something else.
exactly. And I think that they knew that they knew the Bachelorette was going to bring more eyes to them and more
Mm-hmm.
brand things to them. But like I know that
Mm-hmm.
they lost Cinnabon, but I feel like Cinnabon's the only brand that I seen that they lost.
That I've seen. Yeah, same.
Aside from like ABC pausing the show. Um, but like the thing is Hulu still own like you know what I mean? It's just like it's so hard and like I love that they're in this legal stuff. I love that she's getting her salary because you're not about to play with me about my money about something that you've been new and then play in my face. Also, I love that this is white mess. I love that this is not people of color, especially black people experiencing this
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness, we would never see the end of it. If this was happening with Layla, we would never see the end of it.
Someone was saying how like the way Colton was able to like reinvent himself and pop back up on
Traders,
traders, like it'll be the same thing for her in a little bit.
I think so too. And I think that that's the biggest thing that I'm kind of having issue with of like, why are y'all pretending that this is an issue with you when you know that later on you're going to benefit from this? Like you're pulling her banners down, you're pulling her billboards down, and you're doing all these things to show that you don't support this. But like y'all have had, and I don't want to say too much, girl, because I'm streaming. You know, I'm trying to be on Big Brother one of these days. But like y'all have had so many of these things happen with so many of your contestants, producers,
Mm-hmm.
leaders, all of these things. But this is where you want to draw the line when you want to like reprimand a woman. And I think that's the part. And here's the thing, and I do want to make it very clear: I don't condone what Taylor did. I don't support what Taylor did. I don't like what Taylor did. I don't. I don't think that it was cute. But I also understand the messiness of reality television. And so, because they still showed her to me, I took what they showed and I kept it moving. And I saw it as
Mm-hmm.
an entertainment value. It's something that I'm not a part of. It's something that I'm not in. It's something I'm not in the mix with. And so that's what it was for me. But yeah. air this girl's season, wrap up season 5, pivot to
So you think
LA.
they're gonna finish season 5?
Absolutely. They're going to finish
Okay.
season 5. They're going to finish. I think that they're waiting for the dust to settle. They're waiting to see how Bachelorette is handled, and then they're going to get back into filming. Taylor might not be on the rest of season 5. They might only do what they had with Taylor, and they might show the aftermath of Taylor, but they're going to finish season 5, and they're going to air season 5, and then they're going to, in my opinion, they're going to reevaluate, do we think MomTok is going to survive this? Do we think that it's worth pushing forward? And like, because I think right now what they're doing, Jayla, is trying to see how can they spin and go off into
Mhm.
other things. And so I think that like maybe that means all the girls might be moving to LA, and they might start off in that, and like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in Utah is done for after season
Right.
5, and then they're going to kick off with these spin-offs. But I it was such a gravy train, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And also, like, I think what's interesting to me is that, like, as reality is actually happening and unraveling, we're not filming. This isn't like what happened to Mary Cosby and where she lost her son. This is messiness and drama that's happened.
Mhm.
But anywho,
Mhm.
let me look through what we've been talking about to see if there's anything else I want to add.
The cancellation of a Real Housewives of, or the pause of Real
Of Real
Housewives of
Housewives of
Miami.
Miami. I forgot to add it to the docket. I don't want to believe it to be true. I think
Ugh.
it's unfortunate that they doing this to these shows. Like, what has reality TV turned into?
Right.
That like,
You know how I feel. They
but it's
lose
like
me more and more.
they lose us more and more, and like I think that like, why are y'all waiting so long to pause these shows? Why are y'all
Mhm.
waiting so long to figure out what's going on? Why aren't y'all figuring it out as the show is airing? That way, when it stops airing and you go back into production, you have it set. Y'all go into production with the same plan of like, wrapping up, and not like, y'all need to change the formula.
Mhm.
Like, let's explore. Let's be more explorative. Like what? I think my mama talking to Ripley, but anywho, I also am very excited to see to what the contestants from Bachelorette, how they continue to unravel, um, whether they show comes out or not, because some of them are like upset and all these things and up in arms. Like, you should have known this wasn't gonna be the gravy train either. But again, y'all attach yourselves to or tornado, and you surprised to see the damage and the destruction in the back.
A lot of the sincerity of reality, like dating shows, is gone. It's gone. It's
I
been gone.
agree. I
It's
agree.
been gone.
People just want to, like, the Love is Blind of it all. Like, people are
Yeah.
just trying to like get that influencer check and be like the next hunks and the next like babes, and like no one really wants to date. And the thing is, like, just date. You don't have to marry people and like be out, but like just date. Y'all are
Right.
committing to that.
Right.
And I think that
It's
that's what's
like
so interesting.
I don't know. I feel like Love is Blind should like wrap it up after this season because it's like love bombing that leads to marriage and then
Thank you.
divorce
Thank you every time. Every
every
time.
time,
And it's like I think
excluding a
that the way
few.
that it's 10 seasons and we got what, maybe 5 couples to show for it.
No, more than that. I think we have more than that.
That couples that we can really stand behind.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I think that when I think of Love is Blind, of course we think of Cameron and Lauren.
Yeah.
And I think that like we don't hear a lot about these other like couples. Like there's no one
Hmm.
else who's made it, like, like even Vic and Christine. Cute couple. I think they're gonna be built to last. Like they're very simple to me.
That.
Um
And that's why I don't think they're going to like transition into those like influencers and content creators because I don't think they have it and I don't think they want it.
And that's what we need to get back to. Like, let's get back to real people. I have not watched Age of Attraction, but that's going to be my topic for next month. I started the episode. I've seen a lot of the clips. I should have been on it. Um, but Jayla, are you interested in Age of Attraction?
I don't think so.
You don't give your vibe. It gets a little too salacious. Age of Attraction is, y'all, for people who don't know, it's on Netflix. It's a dating show where people like you don't know about the age of the people you're talking to, and then you find out like much later on in the show or in the season. Um, and so like you can be it's people who are interested in age gap relationships as well. And so you can be someone who's like 28 dating like a 60-year-old and not know it until which I think that's insane. How you don't know somebody 60 or 50 or like there's not signs and I know there's somebody who lied about having kids and probably grandkids that they, I guess find out when they find out. I don't know, but I'm very excited to tune into that. Um, and I think that like maybe experiments like that. I think Are You the One is definitely one of my. I know they have a lot of controversy and like rightfully so, and like they did a lot of things. There's a lot of abuse
That
allegations
was
and like
MTV.
stories, and I think it was MTV.
Okay.
And I think I watched it on Paramount, but I think it started off on MTV.
Okay.
Um, and I really like the formula of like seeing is this person your one, like and putting them in a house and figuring it out and like date like that's what it's supposed to be, It's supposed to be dating. It's supposed to be and I feel like mind you, I don't watch Love Island. But like that's influencer city now.
Oh, for
What did
sure.
Chase say? I've seen 2 episodes that these men know damn well those girls young as fuck. So it is a 60-year-old. It's a 60-year-old black man, huh? He looking like handsome. I gotta look at him again, child. But that's the one who said he lied about having kids. Tati, look, let me know what shows you watching, and let me know what shows y'all want me to watch. So, Age of Attraction is one of them. Like I said, Ladies of London is another. There's so many shows that I actually need to watch, like reality shows that I need to watch that have been like on my um on my docket. Um, but thank y'all also for joining me. Sorry I have my crown on today, child. But yeah, if you aren't tuned in to Mom Talk, please tune into Mom Talk.
The
I
name of
guarantee
that
you,
show is what?
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay.
And exactly, that's the thing. Nick Veal, you're insane, Brittany. He is what, 20 years older than his wife? Girl, he lied about kids and lied about celibacy.
Mm,
What these people got going on, y'all?
I
I
might
don't know.
watch it.
I'll be in the age gap relationship though. I know that.
What was the name of the website Sweet Tea was telling them about?
I don't even remember. This blast from the past. I think it was a Facebook group.
It was.
It was a Facebook group about age gap dating, but it was just for straight people. And that's also, I think, another problem. Y'all not leaning into a lot of the fluidity of the queer community, and everything doesn't need to be fully queer. Of like like people who are like just attracted to the same sex. Like I think that like y'all need to be. Oh, it's 15 years. I feel like it's 20 years, but I'll trust you with that. Um, 'Cause she said she in her 20s, and I think that that's so you and your anyway. Because look, before this be me in 2 years, and y'all pull it up, and y'all be like, "You remember when you said something?" Mind you, I'm not dating nobody younger. I will go on the record with that. I'm not dating nobody no decade younger than me. Period. Not older than me, child. Decade or two. That ain't too bad. Uh, and she slid into his DM, and she had to sign his DM. She was 16 because the wife don't look. Exactly. Hold on, y'all. That's my mom talking to my brother. I thought she was talking to me. Anyway, thank y'all for just coming to the show. Thank y'all for being a part. I am going to try to start doing TikTok lives where I talk about the shows more in depth, because I feel like I only get a chance to like really just go to the surface of a lot of these, and like I'll spend like one that I go in and deep dive, i.e., Mormon Wives and Bachelorette, or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Bachelorette today. Um, but I will say next month, stay tuned. We're gonna be talking. I guarantee y'all, we gonna be talking about the Bachelorette. Either the episode's gonna be launched, or we're gonna have some more stuff to talk about. I'm going to watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I'm gonna watch Age of Attraction. I'm gonna watch Ladies of London. I don't think I'm gonna watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills until they go to the reunion. I think I'm feeling real Jayla. I think I'm just gonna watch the reunion and call it a day. And then Marriage to Manson will be done, but that's going to be done this month, so I probably won't really give much of it. Um, and there is that like, there's like that was it Shaws of Sunset that I really want to get into. But anyway, those are the shows I want to get into. Thank y'all for tuning in and being a part of the Royal Key. Like, comment, subscribe, share with people. We are here the last month of every or last Wednesday of every month, and so if you have any topics, if you want to come on stage with me, let me know and we can make it happen. Bye.